Mabuhay, kamusta kayo? Welcome to another video. So I've got a few interesting things to show you in this video, mainly offsets, or pups as they're called as well. Now a lot of cacti and succulents will naturally offset, but I've got a few oddities to show you with some of them as well. First is this Neopateria clavata. Now this cactus, like a lot of Neopateria, they usually remain solitary, or they won't offset until they're quite old, and when they do they usually offset at the base of the plant. With this one I've noticed over the past month or so it's starting to offset from the top. At first I thought there were flower buds developing, but as you can see there are little plants forming. Now usually when this happens with plants that don't naturally offset, it can mean the growing point, or meristem as it's called, has been damaged somehow, which is what I think has happened to this plant. The plant itself can't continue to grow, so it's forcing these offsets out. Not sure how this has happened. This plant has never had pests like spider mite or anything that could have damaged it, so I don't know why it's offsetting like this. Looking at the very centre of the plant, it does look a little weird in there. With cacti that don't naturally offset, some growers will actually kill the meristem of the plant to force it to produce offsets as a way of propagation. They will either cut the top of the plant off, core it with a drill, or hot nail it. Anna from Cactus Caffeine did this when she went to visit Rob Roy's nursery. It made her hot nail a golden barrel cactus, which very rarely produce offsets, or they only do once they're quite old. And you can see in Anna's footage here the result of hot nailing a cactus to kill the meristem to force the plant to offset. No, I didn't hot nail this plant, believe me, so if the meristem has been damaged on this cactus, it's happened naturally somehow. Unfortunately, that usually means as well that the main plant itself will grow incredibly slow now, if at all. In time it's probably just going to continue to produce offsets from all available areoles around the top. Not too bothered this has happened. This plant has basically turned into a propagation plant now. And when these offsets are big enough I can take them off and root them, and the plant will grow more offsets. So yeah, that's the first weird thing that's happened to one of my plants. Next is this variegated agave. I'm not going to try and pronounce its name, but it's commonly called the butterfly agave. There's a few different varieties of this. This one, as you can see, has the white stripe down the centre of the leaves, and there's another variegated variety that has a yellow stripe down the centre. That one is rarer and quite valuable as well. But if I turn the plant around, this one is offsetting and it has the yellow variegation in it. Again, I don't know how or why. I don't know if this will revert back to white once it's bigger, but if it stays yellow then that's awesome. I'm hoping it will stay yellow anyway, and once it's big enough I can take it off and then I'll have both. Yeah, this is quite strange. I couldn't find any info or pictures online of white striped one with a yellow striped offset growing out of it, so maybe just a very rare random fluke, no idea. But I'm certainly not complaining. Next is another variegated plant, Haworthia attenuata. Noticed the other day this one is starting to produce a few offsets, almost a completely variegated one there. And one starting to appear there. But this is how this plant will naturally offset like a lot of Haworthia do. But if we go along the flower stalk that it recently produced, growing here is an offset. Now I've heard Haworthia can do this, and even aloes and gasteria can as well, grow these little plantlets on their flower stalks. I've seen some pictures of it as well. I think Lynn from Desert Plants of Avalon had a Haworthia growing offset on its flower stalk a while back as well. It's quite rare for them to do this, and this is the first time I've had one produce an offset this way. But this isn't the only one I have that's doing this. This is Haworthia pumila Royal Albert. And again you can see on the flower stalk there's two little plantlets forming. Very cool. I'll have to do a bit more research on this if I can, because I don't know if these are going to send out little roots eventually to let me know when they're ready to be potted up. Hopefully I can find some info about that, or if any of you know then please do let me know in the comments. I think if I was to take these off now and pot them up they probably wouldn't survive, so I'll just leave them for the time being. Now this next one isn't related to offsets. This is my Cactimania that I recently repotted. If you saw that video where I repotted this you might remember some spines that came out and got stuck in my finger. Ow! Now I always thought that if cactus spines come out then that's it, they won't regrow. Not the case with this one. You can see it's growing new spines from the areoles where the old ones came out. Like I said, I was always under the impression that spines won't regrow if they're pulled out. Not saying all cacti will regrow them, but maybe with the Cactimania or this particular species they do. Happy that it's regrowing them anyway. Next oddity is this Sulca rauchi. For whatever reason last year this etulated, even though it was on a south facing windowsill. put it in the greenhouse this year, and you can see the new growth is normal. I was going to cut this so it would offset and form a cluster of normal growth, but decided not to because of this. The top of the main plant has divided into two separate heads. This is called dichotomy when this happens, and I know some mammillaria and rebutia can be dichotomous as well. A single growing point can branch into two or even more. Apparently it is theoretically possible for all cacti to do this, but it's more rare and unusual for most of them. So yeah, I shall leave this to do its thing. The whole plant does look a little weird, but Sulca rebutia really do like lots of sunlight, and this is getting pretty much sun all day now, when we have sunny days in the UK that is. And while we're on the topic of offsets, I thought I'd include these next two. Nothing unusual going on with them, but both producing tons of offsets. This is Aloe Snowstorm. Anna sent me this last year and it's doing so well. Grown a lot. Flowered recently as well. Getting ready to flower again. So many offsets all around the base. Very prolific aloe. And finally this Alworthia Black Gem Variegata, producing lots of offsets as well. And of course, as it's a variegated plant, the offsets are coming through variegated as well. Yeah, very nice plant this one. Not bloomed for me yet, but if it keeps producing variegated offsets, I'm not bothered. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little plant oddities video. Let me know in the comments if you've had any strange or rare things happen with your plants this year, or if any of yours are producing lots of offsets. Do let me know in the comments. So thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe. Hit that notification bell as well so you know when I upload a new video. You all be safe and well, and I shall see you next time. Salamat po paalam. Bye for now.